What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster, and you can tell a lot about the confidence, or lack thereof, that showrunners have in their show by how heavily they lean into the member berries. The more member berries they try to feed the viewers, the more they realize that their show doesn't have any meat on the bone. That is where The Last of Us is sitting at right now.
I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left.
Star Wars does this shit all the time. The writers for most of their movies and shows are clueless hacks who don't understand how the magic works and why people liked the OG content. So they constantly bring in older characters and go, "See guys, see these member berries? This is Star Wars. You guys like Star Wars, right?" Well, The Last of Us is only about 1.5 seasons in, and they are already reduced to this behavior. Pedro Pascal's Joel was killed off about a month ago now, shocking all the normies who watched the show but hadn't played the games, and now the showrunners of The Last of Us are already bringing him back, jangling the keys in front of the audience because they are desperate to maintain viewership.
Get your ass back here, boy!
I mean, look at the Rotten Tomato score for the show now. They are all the way down to 40%. Just like when the game came out a few years back, people were pissed when Joel got killed. The show is unraveling fast, and the writers for this stinker know it, which is why they ended the last episode on a cliffhanger with a flashback scene from Ellie's memory, where we see Joel so that the normies will think that Joel is back somehow, because of course they would never remove the main character that everyone loves from the story so soon, would they?
Don't give me hope.
The member berries are starting early with this show, and you can't really blame them. They realize they have to jangle the keys in order to maintain viewership. Meanwhile, the media remains very furious over the way that the internet is poking fun at Bella Ramsey and the show in general. And frankly, I can't imagine how hard their job is gonna be when season 3 rolls around and the audience is forced to watch Abby become the main character of the story for a while. I'm gonna be busting out the popcorn as I expect the normies to look at the screen and go,
What the hell is that?
Alright me hearties, make sure you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and also, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. I'm working on a space pirate cartoon that channel members will get access to before everyone else, and right now, channel members have access to the audiobook version of the first part of my novel, which has been well received thus far. It's called The Darkest Heritage. It's a dark fantasy story, and it will be out on Amazon soon. But anyhow, we can't just complain about the things we dislike in our culture, we have to build culture of our own. So, if you want to support these types of things, consider becoming a member for as little as $5 per month. In any case, let's look at what they're trying to do to keep viewers engaged with The Last of Us. So, episode 5 of this 7-episode season just hit, and the ending of the show had that scene from the game where Ellie chases down the character Nora and tortures the hell out of her in order to get information on where Abby is. First of all, I just want to point out how much I despised this writing in the game. Let's follow the chain of events here. Abby kills Joel in front of Ellie. That's Ellie's father figure. And then Ellie goes on a rampage looking for Abby, and she finds Nora and brutally tortures the hell out of her and kills her in an attempt to get information on how to find Abby. And then, at the end of the game, after hours of the player being forced to use Abby as a main character for a while, Ellie beats Abby in a fight and spares her life. So why the hell did Ellie mercilessly beat the shit out of this poor woman, Nora, who didn't actually kill Joel? Why is it okay for Nora to be killed, but not Abby? Make it make sense. But it doesn't, and we all know that it doesn't. But anyhow, the way that the episode ends, that dark moment just took place where the torture scene just happened, but rather than let that sink in, rather than end on the dark note that a confident writer would allow the show to end this episode on, they ended it with a flashback, a glimmer of hope for the normies, as they show Pedro Pascal in Ellie's memory. They show Joel saying, "Hey, kiddo." I mean, this shouldn't come as a surprise, since this show is based on some of the worst writing in the history of video games, but they are having a serious identity crisis, especially when it comes to tone. And as you can see in the headline here, the mainstream media absolutely ran with this news, trying to get people interested again. They really wanted people to think that somehow Joel was back. But you've got to imagine, even if this does work and they trick a few people into watching the show again, this is absolutely the sort of thing that has diminishing returns. If you give people hope and then betray it, they won't be fooled again, and they will end up even more disappointed moving forward. This has happened with Star Wars repeatedly, which is why that franchise has been on life support for a while now. But as I was saying earlier, the media is losing their minds over the internet dunking on The Last of Us repeatedly. Check out this headline. It amused the hell out of me. Why is Bella Ramsey the target of so much hate? The Last of Us star sparks the fury of the manosphere. Apparently, we are all the manosphere now. Anyone who doesn't just gobble up corporate slop without question is just an angry dude that belongs to the manosphere, according to these people. But what I really love is how they assume that we are filled with fury in the first place. It's like these goofballs don't even understand emotions. They don't know how to properly human, I guess. There's no rage, there's no fury or anything like that. This is mockery. We are having a laugh at the expense of Naughty Dog. When we see memes like this, where Bella's goofy looking face is exaggerated, we are taking the piss out of these people. Anyone foolish enough to think that this is a legitimate movie star? I think the rage is actually theirs. It belongs to the mainstream media and the people making these types of shows, for the fact that people aren't just going along with their nonsense. They want so desperately to prove that this androgynous thing, like Bella Ramsey, that goes by they and them pronouns, they want to prove that someone like Bella can carry a show, but it just ain't happening. And the thing is, those of us making fun of Bella, those of us having a laugh, we don't give a shit about this show, other than for our own amusement. If The Last of Us Season 2 was actually being well received, if it was popular, I'd shrug my shoulders, and I'd still make fun of it, because I think it's trash. My view of The Last of Us is not contingent on whether or not someone else agrees with me, but the makers of the show and the supporters of the show are on the other end of the spectrum. They're trying to convince us that actually, when a female character like Ellie says weird shit like, "I'm gonna be a dad," we're supposed to just clap our hands and go, "Oh, how stunning, how brave." They're trying to push ideas, and I think there is a certain level of resentment bubbling up as they realize that fewer and fewer people are tuning in to hear what they have to say. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop some of that mockery of these doofuses into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.